Hey, it's Jordan with TYT Politics. Very, very rambunctious event here against the TPP. The Postal Workers Union is filling this ballroom at an Orlando hotel. Representative Alan Grayson spoke. Ed Schultz from RT spoke. And we got a lot of union members here. You were one of the fine folks chanting against the TPP. What's at stake here for your union and you personally?
Everything. It's the future of our children, my grandchildren. We need jobs to stay in this country, not be sent overseas. Those are jobs lost. We're not going to get them back. And if we don't stop this trade deal, we're going to lose more jobs and not get them back.
You know, Ed Schultz was really rallying people that, you know, you have the power and don't let these people pass this down your throat. What is the establishment, President Obama, all these Democratic politicians who like to talk about the middle class, obviously there's a disconnect. What are they missing that you guys see about what's wrong with this deal?
They're missing the heart of the working people. They're missing the fortitude that we have as a nation. The unfortunate part, obviously, is that when they get in office, they lose the connect with the people. They forget the promises that they made. For instance, this TPP deal. It's bad for labor, but yet it's being pushed down our throat because they forgot where, you know, the people who got them in position that they are in today.
And what do you think? They like to talk about the globalized economy, and you know, labor unions are living in the past, and they don't understand. They have to get retrained and acquire the skills that will help them in the new economy they like to talk about. Do you find that to be valid or just a bunch of political speak?
I think it's them that need to be retrained because this country's built on labor and labor movement. So for them to say something like that shows you how far they have become detached from the American people.
So you hear a lot that, you know, labor union members are living in the past, in the jobs of the 1950s and 60s, and they need to retrain themselves for the jobs of now and get better skills. Do you have time with 2 kids to go retrain, go back to school? Because it seems like an easy thing to say, but how practical is that?
It's a very easy thing to say, but with so much going on and so many things that we have to do in this country, it's not like it was back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, where you could have a stay-at-home mom. It will be difficult, not impossible, but difficult.
A lot of these union folks, I feel like they kind of feel forgotten a little bit by the president, the Democratic Party. Obviously, the Republican Party for a long time has been union bashing. Do you feel like your concerns about the TPP are being heard?
I don't think so, and it's not Democrats or Republicans in general, it's politicians in general that say too much of what they need to say to get elected, and then once they're in office, they don't follow through on their promises. They forget to say who you are. I don't hear the president talk about unions too much anymore, but I heard him talking a lot about it when he was campaigning. We just want him to remember the people they talk to and the people that help get him elected once they get in their office.
You know, we have President Obama who's pushing really hard for the TPP before the lame duck session is over, and Hillary Clinton says she's against the TPP, but we all know maybe she's not. Donald Trump's a wild card. Why do you think that these politicians are pushing so hard for the TPP despite the fact that there's no evidence it's going to help working people?
I just don't know why. I mean, because NAFTA on the surface people thought was good, and we were opposed to that. And like I've been to Mexico since NAFTA's came in, and even the Mexican people believe that NAFTA has hurt them. And we do too, because what it does is it doesn't give us protection. This is why we don't understand why politicians want to do that, is that it removes American labor outside the United States, and they take them to places that were it's going to be manufactured at a much lower price, but then it comes back to America, and then there's really no money coming back into America because of that. Like the example the person used on the iPhone. The iPhone comes back, you know, people kind of think it's American, but it's not.
What do you guys think is at stake for you and your families if this deal goes through?
What's at stake, not only for me and my family individually, it's the total economic structure of the country. Middle class workers, their jobs, their families. It will break down the fiber of this country.
Bernie Sanders said the middle class is basically disappearing. Do you agree with that?
I do. I concur, and this will further tear it down.
And the broader labor movement A lot of them have backed Hillary Clinton, who originally has said very nice things about this deal. The vice president she picked, before he got picked, was saying nice things about this deal. Do you feel like kind of both sides are there to screw you, or what do you think in terms of actual political leadership on this?
I think they denied, I think, the educated ability of the American people. Because a lot of people, they just accept what's being told by politicians. A lot of people didn't know what TPP was, just like a lot of people didn't know what the NAFTA deal was. But as more information come forward, and people realize, they internalize about what it means, then that's when you find out exactly what was happening. That is that we were having this stuff basically shoved down our throat, but now we've been educated to it, so now we know about it, we're more knowledgeable about it, so that's what it is.